Some dance too close. Ooh. That's better. Whoa. Hi guys. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me start over. Hi you guys. That's weird. Okay. Hi you guys. So today I'm going to talk about my depression story, well, depression, anxiety, and how I got over it, well, overcame depression. I don't even know where to start, so it's kind of hard. Okay, first things first, I am in a, not a hotel, I'm in lodging on base. I'm here doing military orders, working active duty. I'm reserved, but I'm on active duty orders, so this is where I'm at, lodging. And I figured, I brought my stuff because I've been out here for 6 weeks and I kept putting off talking about this. Actually, I've been putting this off since 2018. This is the whole reason I started YouTube anyway. The idea came to me when I was in the process of overcoming depression and anxiety, and I figured like I wanted to help people. Maybe someone can use this video and take some of the things that I've did to overcome this and use it for themselves, and also to let people know that they're not alone and that this is real and that a lot of people go through it and do not talk about it. I will say, before it happened to me, I did once before say that I don't understand how someone can get depressed or this sad or something. Like, I didn't understand it, and then it happened to me. So let me see where to start. Okay, so 2017 was the year that I graduated college. I went to Jacksonville State University. I was done in the summertime, but I had to walk in the fall because they got rid of summer graduation. So I was at home. I moved back in with my parents when I got done, ended my lease, and moved back in with my parents. That's hard, for one, just because you've been basically by yourself or with a roommate for so long, and then you move back in with your parents. It was hard for me. It's easy to live with my parents. They're great. They support me. They let me move in. Why am I doing this? I'm sorry, I'm trying to be still. They let me move in. Basically it's rent-free, so you can't beat that, right? So I moved back in. I got a job. What was it? Y'all, it was the worst job. The worst job for me. For one, it wasn't in my field. I graduated with business management, and like, based off the interview and the job description, it's not what I thought I was going to be doing. So basically I ended up doing door-to-door sales, y'all. And some people there, like, they were good at it. They were making a couple of $1,000s. Me, I'm just the type, like, if you tell me no, if it's a stranger, like, I'm going to your, first of all, I'm going to your door, and then I'm trying to talk to you about, what was it, DirecTV or AT&T, I can't remember. I'm trying to talk to you about this, and if you say no, I'm gonna say, okay, have a nice day, and leave. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not gonna keep trying. I'm gonna take that no and say, okay, I'm not gonna keep bothering you. Like, I don't even know how I ended up doing that. Like, they said it was gonna be an account manager, blah 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 blah. I don't know. Then they told me it was a base pay. She lied. I ended up making $100 because you tell me no, okay. So I went back to Jacksonville to take my graduation pictures. My friend took them for me. And around this time, like when I came home, my mom was like, dog, you gained some weight, didn't you? I ended up weighing, I was 162. And I've never weighed that much. And it actually, in my opinion, my friend too, she said it looked good on me. So, okay, I'm ready. It's just a lot. This is so hard to talk about. Okay. So, I just thought about it. That's my uniform. I'm sorry if it just looks a mess. It's really not. It's just, that's my camera bag, that's the mirror, the bed, and that's my uniform. And I could have hung it up, I guess. I'm just ready to go home. Okay, I'm all off topic. Okay, so, okay, I was 162 at this time. It was around November. I went back to take my graduation pictures. I was happy. And then when I came back from taking my graduation pictures, my mom got me a puppy. I kept talking about a puppy. When I was in college, I told my parents, like, when I move back, we're getting a dog. We've always had dogs growing up, but we just haven't had one in a while, so I really wanted a puppy. So she got me a Shih Tzu. I named her Bella. I think my mom named her Bella. Anyway, her name was Bella, and we just got her at the perfect time. I was so happy. So then I think this was like towards the beginning of November. So towards the end of November, me and my boyfriend at the time, we broke up. So we were together basically like 5 years. We talked for a year, then we got together. It was 4 years, so I just say 5 years. That's a long time to be with someone. So we broke up, and it wasn't, well, that's really not, it wasn't for any specific reason. It's just, we just broke up, I guess. And after that, I think it's like, I can't say I don't know what happened, but it's like I lost control of my thoughts, basically. It started with one negative thought, and then it just kept going. And it got to the point where I couldn't control my thoughts. Like, it felt like it was a war inside my mind. So when we broke up, of course I was sad. So like the typical, you're sad, you broke up, you just got out of a relationship, what the heck? Okay, I was sad. The typical, okay, you just got out of a relationship, a long relationship, and you kind of planned your life with this person already. So then I didn't really have any plans for myself, which is one lesson that I've learned. I'm all over the place, y'all. Okay. So that was one lesson that I've learned, basically, to, like, you have your own life, you have your own purpose, whether you're with someone or you're not. So that's one lesson I've learned. So I was sad, the normal down and sad. I remember this was around Thanksgiving too when we broke up. So then my best friend came over. She always comes over to my grandmother's house on the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. She always ends up coming over. And then my mom and my aunties were there, and My mom was like, she's sad she broke up with her boyfriend. So we went and got like 4 bottles of wine, and then I got like a lot of bags of chips. I love chips. And we were just sitting around the table talking and drinking wine and hearing stories about my mom and my aunties. It was a good time. And then I think it was after 2 weeks of being sad, I thought to myself that this isn't normal to still, just the state that I was in. I was like, this isn't normal to still be this sad. I ended up getting a new job. I was doing medical records at a cancer institute, and it was cool. I didn't have to actually see the patients, but I did talk to some of them on the phone. It was cool. Better, way better than the other job, the sales job, but it still wasn't really in my field. It was in medical because I do medical in the Air Force, so I have 7 years of that. So it was just kind of, let me just get something that has a base pay, a set salary. So after that, I'm working there, and then I'm still sad. And it just went like downhill. Like, I started thinking about certain things that I put up with or allowed, and then I started thinking, okay, so how could you allow yourself to go through that? So you don't love yourself. Why don't you love yourself? And it was just negative thoughts on top of negative thoughts. So from that, I kept thinking about the past, basically. Things that I can't change. And the past, like prior to college and then in college, just a lot of different things. And then I started thinking about how I'm not in my field as far as my career. I'm not making what I want to make, because at this point I'm thinking I should have done this, I should have majored in this, or I minored in this. I have a security clearance, I have military background. Why is it so hard for me to find a job? After a while, like, I don't know, I'm just the type that I can't just stay stagnant. I have to keep progressing, and I have to keep doing something. So that job, it started to stress me out. For one, the workload was ridiculous for the pay. So let me think how to say it. So basically it went downhill. I'm trying to think. I had planned to move before I had started to feel depressed. So to speed up the process of me getting furniture and all that I wanted, I had interviewed for a second job. I'm like going all out of order, sorry, my mind is everywhere. This happened in 2017. Okay, so my second job was at Topgolf. So after I would do the Cancer Institute from 8 to 5, I would go to Topgolf from 5 to, it depends, like sometimes they close at midnight. Sometimes, I think the weekend it was past that, maybe 1 or 2. I really don't remember the hours, but it was basically, I was working a lot, like almost 80 something hours a week, trying to save. And then the depression hit. So I had 2 jobs. My depression kicked in or hit, and I just, going to work, I was miserable, basically. Like, I had downloaded this app, this Calm app, to basically help me. I got into meditation. I was looking up stuff, trying to figure out how to handle this. So I would put that in while I'm at work, or I would listen to certain motivational videos, Les Brown. I would listen to Abraham Hicks about law of attraction, and I would plug that in because we could have our headphones in at work and just listen to that all day to get through work, because I hated work at this point. I was miserable. And then it's just, you could see it on my face. And then I'm sensitive, I'm a crybaby, so sometimes I would go to my car, go to the bathroom, because I would end up crying. I would be in my cube crying, trying to hurry up and wipe my face. My nose would be red, of course. But I would cry every day. I hated waking up. I liked going to sleep, because that felt like the only time that my mind was still or quiet. Like all day my mind just felt like it was going 1,000 miles a minute, or it just wouldn't stop. I got a journal. That helped me a lot. I started to write how I was feeling, and then I would write why was I feeling that way, or I would try to think about why am I feeling this way. And certain videos that I would listen to is I've learned a lot of this stuff basically to try to train your mind to think about positives. I know when I woke up, I started to write 3 things that I was positive, even if it was not positive, sorry, 3 things that I was grateful for, even if it was something small like thank you for my car, or just anything that I was grateful for. I'm like all over the place. Okay, so basically my depression, it got bad. I felt numb. I felt numb and felt like I was just drifting through life. I know when I was driving to work, I almost, like I wasn't there, because I almost wrecked and hit a car. Like I was driving, I'm wide awake, but I wasn't there. I didn't have an appetite. So remember I said I was 162? I ended up, I think around January or February, I ended up, pretty sure it was January, I ended up being 145. And I haven't weighed that since high school, because and it's not that big of a difference. I always would stay around 150, 155 while I was in college. But to go from 162 to 145 is drastic, because I wasn't eating, and it wasn't on purpose. I just didn't have an appetite. But I did listen to a sermon during that time, and I remembered hearing that the devil, I wish I could remember. I just said I remembered. It was basically something about like he will attack your stomach or your appetite, basically. I know I'm all over the place. I need to start over. I'm gonna start over. December, that was when graduation was, December 15th, and my line sisters, we always do this, it's like a little celebration for graduates, so we did that, but I just was not, oh my god, I was not happy. I looked a mess, and by this time it had got worse than in November. So leading up to December, I hated getting out of bed. I hated waking up. I liked going to sleep because I felt like that was the only time when my mind was quiet and not doing 100 miles a minute. It's like I couldn't stop my mind from going. I couldn't stop it from thinking about the past and thinking about what ifs. What if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? And by that time, like I'm talking about, I did not, if I didn't have to go to work, I did not get out of the bed. I didn't shower. I didn't brush my hair. I didn't eat. So around November when I left college, I was 162, and then by December, I don't know how much I weighed in December, but I definitely lost weight because my clothes didn't fit. But I know when I weighed myself in January, I was 140. I don't know if it was 142 or 145, but it was a lot. Because I wasn't eating, and I wasn't eating because I didn't have an appetite. And I get like that to this day. Like if I get sad or upset, my appetite goes away. I don't eat. So okay, back December. So when I went to Jacksonville for graduation, the whole 2 hours there driving, I'm crying. And when I get there to see my line sisters, they could tell something was wrong with me. Like I looked a mess. Like I just pulled my hair back. I probably didn't brush my hair. I just had on whatever. And then of course you can tell when I've been crying. My nose is red, my eyes are puffy. And it's like, you know when you're just like holding it all in, and then someone hugs you, or they ask like, are you okay? And then you just end up crying. Like that's what happened. But I'm getting out of order. Okay, but prior to that, while I was at work, I would constantly listen to motivational videos on YouTube while I'm at work. Or if I would start to feel anxiety, because I ended up, the depression led to anxiety, and then I kept thinking about the past. So now I started thinking about the future. Basically, thinking about the past got me depressed. Thinking about the future gave me anxiety. So I had both of them, because I kept thinking like I don't want to make any more mistakes. I don't want to make the wrong decisions in life, because I kept thinking about my past. And I'm thinking like certain things that I allowed happen to myself, and not just in college but in high school and all that. My hair looks crazy, y'all. Certain things that I was allowing to happen or accepting, I was like, I don't love myself. And why don't I love myself? So I started to write in a journal. I write in a journal every day. Sometimes I'll write prayers to God. I'll just talk to God. Or I'm writing how I feel, and I would try to figure out why do I feel this way. Some people that I would listen to on YouTube was Les Brown, and I would listen to Abraham Hicks about law of attraction. I will say that those videos helped me a lot. Okay, hold on, I'll get to that, because it's just so much. So yeah, like I said, I wouldn't shower, I wouldn't do my hair, I wasn't eating when I was driving to work. Sometimes, like one time I was there driving, of course I was awake, but I wasn't there because I almost hit a car. It's like I woke up and dodged it. And then I know I had a thought where I was like, well, if I wreck my car into something, not someone else of course, but like a tree or the highway wall, something, and I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just being honest, this is what I was really thinking at the time, that if I do that, then I can have a break, like from life. Like I'll have a break and I'll just be in the hospital for like 2 weeks. I don't know how I thought that whatever was going to happen to me, I was just going to be in there for 2 weeks. But that's what I thought. And I was crying every day. I felt numb. Felt like I was drifting through life. And I guess just thinking about like, okay, I'm not in my career. I moved back in with my parents. And it wasn't like, oh my God, ew, I hate that. So annoying. It wasn't like I was looking at someone specifically and just comparing my life to them. I don't know what it was. I guess I wasn't where I wanted to be, where I thought I would be, basically. And I ended up, of course, when me and my ex broke up, so it's just like you can tell when someone breaks up with someone because all the pictures on Instagram are gone. And it's like people knew, and then it just became too much for me because people were trying to either shoot their shot, and it's just basically it became too much for me. So then I ended up disabling my Instagram for like 3 months, and then was it 3 months? Yeah, 3 months. I just didn't want to be bothered, and I was still talking to my friends. My friends helped me a lot because I felt like at the time, like you don't want to talk about it, but you do because you want to get it out, but you don't want to talk about it because you feel like I keep talking about the same thing with my friends. I don't want to get on their nerves, and they didn't make me feel this way, but that's just how I felt. Like I don't want to get on their nerves. I don't want to keep talking about the same thing. But they helped me a lot. They were there every time I needed them. What else before I get back to the graduation? Okay, so back to graduation. So when I was there, I didn't have fun. I hated it. Prior to that, we had already planned to go to this concert after graduation. I was still gonna go. My line sisters were there for me, listening, trying to cheer me up. I was just basically like, I don't even know where I stayed. I'm sure I stayed with a friend or something. I did, actually, not a friend. I stayed with my line sister. Well, she's my friend too, but I stayed with my line sister. Okay, I remember now. I stayed with my line sister, and I wasn't okay, but I was holding it together. Just kind of had a look like this, and everything's okay. I went to sleep. Like I said, I like going to sleep. I hated waking up. So we woke up. Me and my line sister, we woke up, and I wake up, I'm crying. And I'm just crying, and she was trying to help, but it's just, I guess I try to talk to her about what I'm thinking at the time, and then I'm just crying. And then I end up getting myself together, and then I leave because I had to go, I think, get my makeup done by my friend. But it's like I was doing all that. I was there by myself because my parents had to work, and then they came to see me graduate, to walk, but I was there by myself. I ended up going to my other friend's house because I needed somewhere to get dressed at, because my line sister was graduating at a different time, so she was already gone. And I'm at my friend's house, and then all of her family is there with her, and then I'm just there. I go in her room and I get dressed. I think I end up crying in there. And I know that I think I took a shot or two before I walked. Everything was okay. And then I think I'll put my graduation pictures up, because I know at a time when I had got better, I had looked at them, but then they made me cry again, because I'm like, I was so miserable in this picture. But I'm gonna put it up somewhere. And then for one, my clothes were too big because I lost so much weight. I had bought the outfit way ahead of time, and it was just too big. My family came and supported me, and then my friends came, my line sisters were there, and it was time to, me and my friends stayed in the hotel. We went out, everything was fine. I saw my ex, and then we talked, and I ended up crying in the club, whatever. And then I went back to the hotel room. Everything was fine. We was good. Went to sleep, woke up crying, just burst out crying. And then my friends left, and I went to Atlanta with a few of my line sisters. We had an Airbnb. We was going to a concert. So everything was okay. I'm just drifting. I'm there. And then I think it was 7 o'clock. So of course we having a few drinks or whatever. I'm drinking, I think I took some tequila or whatever, but I'm drinking champagne. And then at this point I'm drinking because I don't want to feel sad and I don't want to think about stuff. So I'm drinking. I think before we even get to the concert, we stopped. We was in the Airbnb, not the Airbnb. We was in an Uber, and the Uber driver stopped somewhere because a few of us had to use the bathroom. So he stopped at a restaurant for us. And before we got to the concert, I ended up throwing up because I was drinking so much because I didn't want to feel sad. Once I threw up, I felt okay. I got some pizza because I needed to eat something real quick. But then I felt okay. And then same thing happened. Went to sleep, woke up again, burst out crying. And then it's just kind of a blur. I'm pretty sure I went back home. January comes. I don't think that my birthday's in January. I don't think that I was going to do anything for my birthday. I think my friend kind of made me, which is good. My friend made me get out and do things, which helps you. And I'm thankful for that. So I did do something for my birthday. We went out. And I wasn't, at this point, it wasn't as bad at it as it was in December. I was kind of getting better because I was writing in my journal. I was starting these Bible plans in the Bible app about depression and anxiety, and my anxiety had got so bad to the point where I had got prescription medicine for it. I think I took it for a little while and then I stopped. I felt like it was making it worse, so I started to look up ways of how I can cope with it naturally. So I started doing yoga, meditating, exercising. I didn't try that so much until way later, but I read that exercising helps with stress and anxiety. So then I know that at this point I actually will put a picture of when I was 162 and then a picture of after, like while I was going through depression and how small I was, so you can see. And every morning I would wake up with anxiety, and it got to the point where it hurts, like it was hurting me, physically hurting me. And I thank God my mom got that dog, she like at the right time, because I would let, when my dog got big enough, I would let her sleep with me in the bed. When I would wake up, she never did this before until my anxiety kicked in, and I would wake up in the morning with it instantly. She would walk over from the foot of the bed and come up, and she would lay on my chest like this, and I would feel better. And I took a picture of it one day because I was crying, and it's like dogs know what you're feeling. It's crazy to me. Like she knew when I was sad or hurt, and she would walk over and lay right on me like this, and they would make me feel better. I'll put a picture of her doing that. I'm just happy that I had her at that time. My parents had went somewhere and I was at home by myself. I texted one of my friends. I was like, are you at work? Can you come over? She was at work. Basically, a lot of my friends were at work and they couldn't come over. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I just want someone to be here because I'm scared of what's going to happen. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I felt like, I don't know, it was like a demon or something. Like I felt like I was going to do something, or I don't know, something bad was going to happen to me. I ended up using this hotline, this military one source hotline. I did a chat with them because it's like I was embarrassed to talk on the phone with them. for whatever reason. So I did a chat with them, and that kind of helped me. She actually sent a list of counselors to my email, so that helped me. But what I will say is that helped ultimately. I started to, like, when I would get on my knees at nighttime and pray, I would feel better. I still was depressed and I still was crying, but I would feel better. And then I know listening to the motivational videos, and basically I had to retrain my mind to think about positive things. I would wake up and write 3 things I'm grateful for, basically doing exercises to retrain my mind. And if I lose my mind, basically I can't, like, it starts to drift off and starts to go back to thinking negatively, I would deep breathe, which I learned in meditation, deep breathing. So I would think about, basically I would start like in through the nose, out through the mouth. I would close my eyes and I would do that, and it would clear your mind, because you would start to think about your breaths in, out, and my mind would get cleared. That helped me a lot, and journaling helped me a lot. Journaling, writing in my journal helped me a lot. So I would write about how I feel. Basically it's to get it out, instead of keep replaying what I'm thinking in my head. I would just write it out and get it out. And then it ultimately was like I wasn't trusting God. I'm sitting here overthinking and trying to plan my future, and I'm like, I don't want to make the wrong decision, blah blah blah, instead of just trusting God. So then I also had to work on my faith and my relationship with God, because if it wasn't for God, I probably would be dead. Especially for the mindset that I am in now, because I love myself, have standards, and will not settle. I know that I looked up basically self-love, how to love yourself, because I felt like I didn't, and ultimately I didn't, thinking about stuff that I would do or allowed, went through. And this is not just, I'm not talking about relationship wise, I'm talking about just in general life in the past. So one of the things I learned was I would basically, if you make a promise to yourself, don't break it. Whatever promise that is, do not break it. Just like you would make a promise to your best friend or your significant other and you wouldn't break that, you have to treat yourself the same. Do not break any promises that you make to yourself. So I got better, but I wasn't completely better. And because I was going out a lot, like I'll go out sometimes, but during this time I was going out a lot, and I really don't even know why. So okay, but basically it feels like I've been rambling, but I don't know, I just wanted to tell that story. Hopefully it helps somebody, or if you have questions or need somebody to talk to, you can definitely talk to me. And I wanted people to know, whoever's going through this, that you're not alone, and it does happen a lot to a lot of people. I've been basically, it's kind of hard talking about it, so I guess that's why I'm rambling. The reason I got the whole idea of making a YouTube was basically when I was going through depression, after like my birthday, when I kind of started to get better. I was like, I love YouTube. I watch YouTube more than I watch TV. Maybe I should, the idea came to me, just to start a YouTube channel, and then I can make a video talking about this to help people, or to let people know like they're not alone, and this is what I did and these things helped me because I was going through it. I had with the self-love, low self-esteem, and then I kept thinking about my past, which led to the depression, and then I kept thinking about the future, which led to my anxiety instead of being present. And sometimes when I have something going on or something coming up, I have to do these practices to stay present, because I'll start thinking about the future too much, or thinking about, well, when this happens, or I can't wait for this to happen, basically, and I'll be happy. But no, be happy now. Be happy in your now. Be happy today. I know what keeps me present is if my mind wanders and I'm thinking about the future too much or trying to plan too much, I'll look outside, looking at the sky, the trees, feeling like if there's a breeze, feeling that, or listening to birds, doing my deep breathing. I will be present again. Be thankful for what I have now, not what I'm going to have, and just looking forward to that. And be thankful for what I have now. I have to work on that constantly. But I know, like, staying positive, you have to constantly train your mind. Like, that's just the ongoing thing. Sometimes you may have a negative thought, but you need to follow up with a positive, or follow up with a, Lord, I trust you. Like, ooh, today is hard, or I'm having a hard time, I'm stressed, but Lord, I trust you. And that helps me. I know talking helps some people. That helps me. Writing in a journal definitely helps me. I have 4 of them. It's just certain things, listening to motivational videos, sermons, starting the Bible plans. They have different ones about how you're feeling: angry, sad, depression, anxiety, hopelessness. They have so many different plans that will help you, and that helps me. I just finished one about stress, because I was stressed all week, had a migraine all week because of stress. But I do have another story I wanted to end up telling about, and it basically me not fully healing from depression and anxiety, not fully healing from that, and not fully developing self-love and all that led to this next story. But I will record that one. I'm going to tell that story, because I also think that would help someone as well. But what I will say is, depression is real, and you are not alone. Talk about it. It's okay to see somebody. It's okay to see a counselor. And it's okay if you're not okay, but seek help. If you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, you can talk to me. You could message me on Instagram or leave a comment, anything you want to do. Not going to tell anybody your business or whatever. We can talk about it. You could pray about it too. So that was, I kept putting this video off because I guess I was nervous. I don't know why, but I felt nervous to talk about this. It's kind of like private, personal. If someone needs help or has questions, don't be afraid to ask. I will respond to you, and I'll try to help you, or find any of the tools you need to help you. I will definitely help, because anybody going through depression or having thoughts like that, it's serious. Like, nothing to be ashamed of at all. You should definitely talk to somebody about it. Whew, I should have got some water. I feel like because this is take 2, and I've been talking a lot because I just didn't know where to start. I was rambling, skipping parts that I thought maybe was important. Shoot. But ultimately, I will say, I would not be here if it wasn't for God. And I'm so glad He did not leave me, and He was there for me the whole time. I had to learn to lean on Him. I definitely did. But okay, because I'm gonna keep rambling clearly. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I will finish talking about this, tell my other story of what led to what happened next, which was horrible. I will have that, I will tell that story. And then I think I'll try to make a video about self-love practices, that especially the ones that I did to help me. But yeah, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share. This might help somebody. Thanks for watching. Bye.